We're going to meet those goals and decarbonize our economies to reach net zero emissions by 2050.
We have to transition to electric vehicles about 20 times faster than we are now. And we have to fully transition to a resilient net zero economy faster.
Our goal is to accelerate the transition to a net zero economy, particularly by boosting private capital flows.
While the so-called net zero economy is a goal of the American left, they haven't told the truth about how much pain it would take to actually get there. Well, luckily for us, the UK is revealing it all in stunning detail. Just how miserable your future actually could be, how restrictive and how freedom-crushing your existence will be. Joining us now is someone who's broken this all down, Norman Fenton, Professor Emeritus of Risk at Queen Mary University of London. Professor, it is my pleasure to have you on the show tonight. I was so taken by your analysis that I was dying to have you on. So I want to begin with this chart showing what would be required in terms of air travel and driving in order to achieve this so-called net zero goal. Explain this.
Well, the key thing is that when they talk about net zero, they really mean absolute zero, because net zero, they're talking about all greenhouse gas emissions, including methane, being less of those than removals. And since there's no large-scale capture and removal technology available other than tree planting, net zero actually means that you've got to get rid of those emissions completely. So in order to achieve that, given that we don't have the technology for the capture and removal, you've got to do things like they're saying in this. They're being very realistic. They're saying that all airports, except for Heathrow, Belfast and Glasgow in the UK, so all but 3 UK airports, to close by 2030, and no flying at all by 2050. No shipping at all. No shipping at all by 2050, because the whole idea is until you then get electric until you can actually have airplanes powered by electricity or nuclear, then you've got to eliminate it completely. No new petrol or diesel cars by 2030, and by 2050, road use is to be restricted by 60% of today's level. Food, heating, and energy also restricted to 60% of today's level by 2050, and beef and lamb to be phased out by 2050. And of course, this fits very much with all of these sort of the World Economic Forum, Great Reset, UN Agenda 21 objectives. Right. That you're going to eat bugs, but you're going to be happy. So this is what it's all about.
Well, I know, Professor, we know that the elites, they're going to have plenty of beef and lamb. They're going to be able to fly anywhere they want to go. They're going to be able to travel as much as they want. But I want to get you to describe this 15-minute cities, because they're a key part of this net zero scam.